Hello, welcome to our 1 o'clock hangout. We are talking today about being present to the moment that you're in and the gift that that is and ways that we can access that. Because a lot of times, we can hear about life is now and being present to the moment that you're in is really significant. But sometimes we can mentally assent to that, but how do we actually get into it? So we're going to talk about that today. Hey, Cassie. My name is Tally. And I am a professional life coach. I work with leaders to help them create lives of overflowing joy and impact. And a lot of the ways that I go about doing that, I just thought with everything going on right now, would just jump on here at 1 o'clock every day and we can do some mindset tips. We can connect in here, talk about ways to really lean into using this time as an opportunity and get some really beautiful work done in some ways and also connect. So talking about the present moment today. So the moment that you're in right now is an access point for you to be able to connect to and to have all of the things you most deeply desire. And it's really super counterintuitive a lot to our culture because we are always, and this is a lot from the media and the way marketing has been geared, but we're always running after, thinking that the thing that we most want is out there somewhere. And what that tends to do to us is cause us to miss all that we actually have access to right now. And there's another conversation in here that I'm going to get into a different day about our deep core longings and how we run after things out here in order to get those filled. And these two themes kind of overlap, but I think it's too much to get into just in one video. So we'll save that for a different day, but maybe tomorrow we'll do that. But the gift of right now, the gift of the challenge that we are all experiencing right now, one of them is that it limits, to a large degree, it limits a lot of the distractions we tend to be in all the time, a lot of the excess doing, and it gives us an invitation into being. So that whole differentiation between doing and being, and when we can learn how to practice being, it is one of the most beautiful gifts because truly life is now. It's in this moment that you're sitting watching this video right now. So whatever it is you're surrounded with, whatever it is, the gifts that you have right now, when you can tune into this moment and enjoy those things, that's where life is. And I've grown to see it like the more moments I am present to in my life, that's where I access joy. That's where I access the freedom that I'm wanting. That's where I access an experience of security or comfort or love. And that's kind of getting into some of those desires, that sense of belonging, that sense of freedom. Whatever it is we're most longing and wanting, we can only access it in the moment that we're in right now. So we can't get to it running after something out here. We can only get to it by experiencing it. And the only way to experience it is to be in the moment that you're in right now. And so I started, kind of getting that I believe that before I learned how to actually access it and do it. And so we'll talk about that here in just a second. So we'll finish off the video, but just understanding that the running after is an illusion and the learning how to be is really where the gift is. So use this time that we have right now where there are so many things that we normally are doing that kind of give us the experience of being on a treadmill in life where we're just running really hard after things but not really ever getting to them. That is often the way our doing, that's often the way we experience that doing and being in that hamster wheel or treadmill of going. And right now we have the opportunity with just pulling in and really learning how to be, learning how to experience the moment that you're in. Life is only ever in this moment. So when I learned this, when I started learning the how to do it, this was a huge, I'll bring resources to you guys too in some of these videos along the way. This is, I would say, probably in the top 5, definitely the top 10 things. This is called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. Things that I have experienced that have brought me into so much of what I enjoy right now. So I do this with some of my clients. I've done this, like, you can see how much it's falling apart. It's like a mess. But I've done this with multiple different groups. It's a great thing that we could do online. Maybe we'll do that. Great book. But one of the things she talks about in here, I don't know if she talks about it that way. I didn't look it up. But learning how to tune, I think she talks about it, learning how to tune in. But it's what I'm saying about learning how to connect to the moment that you're in. So she talks about it tuning in, and how her grandma was really amazing at that. She would send letters to her all the time, and it would just be this rambling of her deep experiencing. So, you know, like, she would be describing for her granddaughter her walk through the garden, and the way the sunlight came through the leaves, and the sound of the dog barking next door, and just like delighting in the moments that she was in, and learning how to tune your attention to the present moment. And so one of the ways I learned to do this, and I can remember the day that it clicked for me, I had a routine of, it's when my kids were really little, and so it was hard to get focus time, and so we would take turns every other day getting time to ourselves. And so I was at a Starbucks. I left the house for my times, and I remember being at this Starbucks that I would go to every other day, and I remember sitting there looking out the window, and it was the fall, because those trees that have the tiny little yellow leaves that just like twirl down, the wind blew, and I was watching these leaves, and I was feeling my cup of matcha tea, and I was smelling it, and I was hearing the clatter of everything going on around me, and I was just tuning in through all of my senses, and I was so deeply present to the moment that I was in. And I was like, oh, this is the experience of that, just being right here, right now. And so I want to give you guys the invitation today and throughout your time being at home to open up and engage your senses. So before you go to eat something, just take a minute and like smell it. If you have an orange or you have a lemon, like smell it, enjoy it. When you are eating something, really let yourself taste it and enjoy it. Every now and then, just get still and listen to the sounds around you. Maybe it's laughter if you're home by yourself. Maybe it's music that you have playing. Just let your senses be filled and enjoy the beauty of the moment. And tune into yourself and notice what you're feeling too, emotionally. So that is my gift to you. The Artist Way by Julia Cameron is an incredible book. Totally recommend ordering that. It's awesome. It's a book. It's also kind of a workbook experience. It involves journaling and an experience of an artist date every week. It's a really cool book. So, and there's a lot of really neat, at the end of each chapter, she has a list of I think she calls them tasks, but things that you can choose from. So there's like maybe a dozen things that kind of help lean you into the point that she's making. And you can pick like 2 or 3 of those, but it would be a really great book to do during this time of being home. So totally recommend that, The Artist Way by Julia Cameron, and then just the invitation to be really present to the beautiful moments that you find yourself in today. If this is supportive for you, and there's somebody that you feel like these videos would support, feel free to share this with them or tag them in here. Also, would love to hear your guys' experiences of this. I love the conversations that have been going on here, so feel free to comment below and share how this is impacting you or an experience that you create for yourself today. That would be awesome. And if you would rather get this via email, I'm also kind of putting notes together that sum up these videos, also with a link for a replay. So if you're not able to get on here at 1 o'clock every day and join us, but you want to get these, feel free to direct message me your email, and I'll make sure that you get them. And I will be back here again tomorrow at 1 o'clock, connecting in with you guys and just offering some overflow of what I have to give. So blessings to all of you. Enjoy your present moments today.